Hey, my friends, this is Gary Norris. I am sorry we're just a couple minutes late getting rolling, but welcome to the Strongbrook MAP PSA webinar. This has been a few weeks in the build, but the building of the webinar and the anticipation of having you here, although that's been a few weeks, we've been working for months on putting together this program that we're about to share with you, and this is something that is unique just to you people that have a MAP PSA. And I'm really excited to share this with you. One thing I was under the impression the webinar started at 7 p.m. and I'm like, I would have been on here earlier. And so I really appreciate Ken Course, who's kind of helping me on the technical side. So he's awesome, and he's got us on track. So I just wanted to talk with you for a minute. And that minute will probably go into 10 minutes and then an hour. So now I've got to get this whole thing wrapped up within an hour. And I have so much to share, but what I wanted to really do is just kind of hone in on exactly why we're even talking with you. And yes, some of you may be very fully involved and engaged in Strongbrook, and others of you may have once upon a time been engaged with Strongbrook with your MAP PSA, and you've kind of come and gone, you've given it attention, you've kind of put it on the back burner, or you've been doing other things, or you're still waiting for that opportunity when you can actually fully engage and take advantage of Strongbrook's done for you real estate investing model. And I know there's all sorts of variations on this webinar. So what I wanted to do is just talk to all of you in general, and then kind of even talk and share with you why I'm even the one talking to you, because I don't work for Strongbrook. But this is the Strongbrook PSA MAP webinar, and as you can see on the screen, it also says the real estate community that's called Limitless, and we're going to talk just a little bit about that. And what is Strongbrook and Limitless? What have they been? What's the update? Why should you care? Why is that important to you possibly? And I just wanted to take a minute and share with you. Some of you may be fully aware of the Limitless and what's been going on with Strongbrook. Others of you may go, I don't even know what Limitless is. And then some of you may be going, yeah, I'm aware of what Limitless is. And what the heck? I thought this was a real estate investing company, and now they're doing all sorts of personal development, and I'm kind of frustrated. And so I know that some of you fit all of those categories. And then some of you are also going, yeah, I know it's Limitless and it's personal development, and it goes right in line with the mindset training I need to become an investor. And so I just want to touch base on all of those aspects. I'm going to see real quick if I can make my screen a little bit better so I can see everything. All right, good to go. So yes, with Strongbrook, real estate is still going strong. I was at their shareholders meeting about a month and a half ago, and as they were talking to their private shareholders, they're still doing real estate. They're doing hundreds of millions of dollars in real estate. To date, they've surpassed the 500 billion mark. They're in the 500 million mark, and they're approaching now their 750 million mark in real estate transactions. This year alone, their real estate transactions have resulted in 65% of the homes that their clients have purchased are clients that have already purchased homes in the past. So they have viable, active clients that are still doing real estate, still making money with real estate, still fully engaged in the Strongbrook real estate program, doing this, quote, done for you program. So those of you who have purchased a MAP PSA, you initially paid most likely $499 to get started, and then $99 a month, and that put you in the queue for the future ability that you could invest with Strongbrook's Done For You program. In the meantime, you were getting access to some investing webinars, some audios, some CDs, invited to wealth intensives. Some of these were live events, some of these were recorded events, and you've been getting some real estate investing education along the way as you pay your $99 a month. But most of you have been doing that knowing that in the future you're gonna, the $500 you paid up front and all of your $99 a month that you pay each month, they were accruing as credits that you can in the future use to tap into their done-for-you real estate system. Well, that's still a viable option. But what we're here to talk about is there's so much more available to you now with new program that has come out, and we've designed an opportunity especially for MAP PSA holders that if it's of interest to you, you could take advantage of it at a huge I'll get into the details of that later, but at a huge opportunity to educate you. So if you look at the screen under Done For You Real Estate, it also says Creative Do-It-Yourself Strategies. This is something you probably haven't heard of, and this is a piece of what we're talking about. So yes, real estate is still going strong. They have a done-for-you model, hundreds of millions in sales. Clients are hundreds of millions in purchasing of homes, clients from all 50 states. Well, there's also a new model that they're out teaching and training and coaching on, which is creative, do-it-yourself strategies. Maybe you going out in the world where you live locally and doing real estate on your own with no money and no credit. We'll talk about that. Then there's training and coaching and education that comes along with that. And basically, we've been building a total community of like-minded investors. And this has been happening over the course of this year. Finally, we've tweaked it, we've fine-tuned it, we've turned it into a program that we've been rolling out to the general public, but we have a special opportunity for the MAP PSA holders to get you playing in the game like no other way before. What's funny is I just heard the alarm go off, and my son tells me I have to go get the banana bread out of the fridge, and no one's in the house, but in the basement I have hiding a secret weapon, and that is my son-in-law, who I need to text real quick, because banana bread will soon start burning. And, oh, he's there. You are the man. Thanks. Okay, he's on top of it. Sorry, guys. So, Limitless. Let me address that real quick. For those of you who don't know, Limitless is owned by Strongbrook. Strongbrook, the parent company, Limitless is this brand. Chris Crone, who we all know, has been teaching and helping people with their mindset to be better at taking down real estate deals, having the mindset of an investor. Well, it's taken a whole new leap of its own into where they do 3-day events now that are kind of like a Tony Robbins event, if you know who Tony Robbins is, where people gather, and we're talking every month they do Limitless. Limitless is happening in 2 weeks, and there's usually between 400 to 800 people every month that come to a 3-day Limitless experience where they take on their limiting beliefs and they create new beliefs that serve them better, and they learn how to be a better husband, a better wife, a better family person, better in their business, a better entrepreneur, how to take on their life and take it to a new level, whether it's health, wealth, connection, etc. Well, part of that is Limitless Wealth. And part of this Limitless Wealth was we have hundreds of people coming every month to a Limitless event, and we want to give them an exposure to Limitless or to Strongbrook's real estate program. And just like you have exposure to the Strongbrook real estate program with your MAP PSA. Well, these people that are coming to Limitless, they've had no idea that the parent company Strongbrook or that Chris Crone himself was a multi-gazillion millionaire with real estate owning hundreds of homes. And when they're introduced to it, we're introducing them to what we call the Limitless real estate community, where they can learn how to take their newfound belief over being able to do what they want and take control of their life financially regarding wealth, and we introduce them to the Strongbrook real estate program, not via a MAP PSA, but via a very expensive investment that they have access to unlimited, and for as long as the company's around and they're alive, they got access to this program. We'll get to that in a minute, but the point I'm trying to drive to you is we've been generating this little community of like-minded investors, and now it's time to share with you, the MAP PSA holder, how this probably could benefit you if you're interested, and if I'm assuming the big majority of you would be very interested in this because it is real estate investing, and there is a huge opportunity for you to take advantage of things that is going to save you really not just a few $1,000, but we're talking tens of thousands of dollars. I'm not joking when I say that. You'll see at the end. So first of all, who's Gary Norris? Well, I've been creative real estate investing since 2001. I'm from Idaho, Idaho Falls. I moved to Orem in Utah 5 years ago, and it was it was about then that I learned about Strongbrook, and I joined their program to refer investors in 2011. So I had 10 years of creative experience under my belt doing deals that I don't pay money, I don't use my money, I don't use my credit, and I do creative real estate. And along the way, I knew a lot of people that liked the creative real estate, but also would be interested in the done-for-you model. And so when I found Strongbrook, like a lot of you, I was like, this is amazing. This company's legit. They actually do real estate for people. And I started referring investors to Strongbrook. Well, not just upon my results, but upon my results, and then when I refer people and they refer people and so on and so forth, and there's probably a very large number of you that are in my circle of ripple, I guess, in my ripple, where you've come to Strongbrook through a referral of someone that knew someone that knew someone. And to date, I have referred investors, or my ripple has referred investors who have purchased over 500 homes with Strongbrook in the last 5 years. Now, keep in mind, Strongbrook has sold a few thousand homes to their investors, but my ripple represents 500 homes that have been sold, and a lot of you are in my ripple, so I think that's amazing and awesome. Personally, though, I've done over 70 deals, not with Strongbrook's Done For You program. I've just done 70 deals on my own with my network and people I know up in Idaho, in Utah, a few in other states, California, Montana, a few other states. But basically, what I'm trying to say is I've made a lot of money and I've lost a lot of money. I've been up, I've been down. I took a bath when the market corrected, like most people. What's funny, when the market corrected in 2007 and came to a crash, I didn't collapse until 2011. Right before I met Strongbrook. I actually survived that for a few years before it took me out, but initially or eventually it did take me out, and I ended up losing 3 homes to foreclosure of the 13 homes I owned in 2011. Well, the year before that, I helped 35 people avoid foreclosure by buying their home and selling it as a short sale, and I would do that on the same day, made $300,000 buying short sales or selling short sales and helping people avoid foreclosure, not using my money or my credit. Then the next year I lose 3 homes to foreclosure. So what I'm trying to say is I've made a lot, I've lost a lot, I've been around the block, and I still love all things creative real estate. And when that happened for me, Strongbrook was just starting. Strongbrook started their business officially in 2007, right when the market peaked and began its crash. And here they are, a done-for-you real estate company, going through all of that yuck in the market and succeeding along the way. That is amazing. That's why I love the company, their integrity, and everything they do. And that's why I'm a big fan of theirs. That's why I push everyone I know to go learn from them. And this has now come to a mutually beneficial opportunity where I've been doing creative real estate, and Strongbrook has been doing done-for-you real estate out in front of everyone. But behind the scenes, Strongbrook has been doing creative real estate from the get-go. But they just do it all for you. You realize that when Strongbrook goes out and buys homes that they bring to you on a silver platter, it's not necessarily their money that does it. They use other people's money. They pay for it, but they use other people's money. They're not using their credit. They leverage other people's. Yet they do all these creative strategies. They just had never decided to teach their people how to do it. And now they are, and that's why I'm kind of excited. So also I'm a radio show host and the Rebel Entrepreneur Show, and you can see that picture of my lovely wife. I just say happy wife, happy life because it's true. And if I can keep my wife and kids happy, then Dad's a lot more happy. And so, yes, I'm a family guy. I love my family very much. And anyway, there's a little bit about me. So for those of you who don't know who I am, you now have a little bit of a snapshot. Okay, one more thing. I want to talk a little bit about your mindset and just really the difference of how the wealthy think and how an employee may think. And I just want to talk about this for a minute. I want you to look at the screen and look at that and just do a self-analysis on where do you think you fit in mindset-wise, and where would you like to be mindset-wise. Maybe you're on the wealthy side. I necessarily wasn't. I used to have a lot of these employees mindsets. You know, the employee says you must save your money. The wealthy say you need to leverage OPM, other people's money. The do-it-yourselfer, the employee might say you need to go out and do it yourself. Well, Chris Crone teaches if you want something done right, don't do it yourself. And that's what the wealthy call leveraging OPT, or other people's time, other people's money, other people's time. The employee might say, well, wealth is defined by my possessions. Well, the wealthy say, wealth is defined by my assets and my cash flow. The employee might say, well, my education, it's valued by my degree. I must get a degree and then show it to everyone so I can get that good job. And the wealthy are like, well, education's great, but we value our education by our knowledge. It's what we know and what we can learn to apply, whether or not it comes with a degree. I'm not disparaging degrees. It's just a different way of thinking. And the employee thinks, well, I need to work hard to get ahead in life. And the wealthy think, why would I work hard when I can build systems or use other people's systems? And that's what I've been doing with Strongbrook for 5 years. Good grief. Strongbrook has created this $60 million behemoth of a company. I think that's about what they're worth. And they've done hundreds of millions of dollars in real estate. They have a team of 150 professionals in all their markets where they do real estate. Why would I go recreate the wheel when I could just tap into it like you guys have and refer people to it to get paid, or tap into it to learn and educate myself so I can go out and grow and build myself as a better investor? So it's just a difference in the mindset. And I want to talk really quickly about why would we invest in real estate. And I use this little acronym, number one, because I like it. And I think real estate investing is the ideal investment. Because obviously you can create income in real estate. And there's many ways to create it. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. D stands for deductions. Do you know that there are over 400 deductions you can take if you're an entrepreneur and business owner, and real estate investor? There are literally over 400 deductions you can take in tax deductions and other things. And E stands for equity, because you can tap into equity, you can grow equity, you can leverage equity, and well, that's L coming right up, but equity, which I love equity because that's how your wealth can grow. And A stands for appreciation. Not only can you make money and wealth with real estate with equity, but it can appreciate over time. We'll talk a little bit about that, and we will talk about L, which is leverage. We'll go into that here in a second. But leverage is so important. And really, if you want to talk about the power of leverage, I just want you to see, just look at this screen for just a minute and say, what if I had $10,000 and I wanted to invest it with no leverage? I just want to invest my $10,000. Now, I'm being very generous when I say you can get a 3% interest on your 10 grand. Yeah, you can't today that I know of in the savings account. I think mine is 0.25. But let's say you got 3% interest. Let's say a CD gave you 4 to 6%. Let's say if you're really good at investing, you know, an above average U.S. stock, you pick the right stock, you can make 12 to 20% on your money. That would give you a $1,200 to a $2,000 return on your money. Not bad with a $10,000 investment to get a 20% return. That's frankly amazing. But that's not using leverage. Let's see what our 10,000 could do if we were using leverage, and not go for a 20% return if we get lucky on a stock pick. What if we were using our leverage to buy real estate? What if there was a home that you could purchase for $200,000? They're all over the country, $200,000 homes. What if you could get into that home for just $10,000? Your own $10,000, you take it out of your savings account, and frankly, I'll show you how you can take it off a credit card and make money with it. But say you took $10,000 out of your savings account and you put it down on this $200,000 piece of property, and then you leveraged a bank or a mortgage company to get the other $190,000. That's called buying your home. You may put $10,000 down, you get a $190,000 mortgage, and that mortgage on average, not the mortgage, that home on average appreciates 6.34%. Across the country. That's the 80-year history of a home in America. But let's just say if that was a 6.34% rise in appreciation, that you then took that home and sold it, and just look at the hard money just to give you an idea. Your home didn't, your $10,000 that you invested did not go up by 6.34%. What went up by 6.34%? That's right. The house went up. The value of the home, that $200,000 price or value of the home went up 6.34%. And now that home is worth $12,600, and well, I don't know what that number is. If you were to sell the house, you would have a profit. After you got your $10,000 back, you'd be left with an additional $12,630. And that, my friends, is using leverage to get some appreciation. And that return on your $10,000 represents 127% return. That's the power of what leverage can do with you. Now, there's other ways to use leverage, and I'm telling you right now, and this is why I have you here. The reason you're here is because we want to share with you, it doesn't need to be your $10,000. In fact, all the real estate I have done, including the last deals I've done in the last couple months, I've done 1, 2, 3 deals, I have not used a penny of my money. Well, that's not true. I put my money down as the earnest money, so $100, but one of them was $1,000, but I leveraged other people's money. I just bought a home for $60,000, and I did not use my $60,000, and I didn't use a bank. I didn't use my credit, I didn't use my money. Yet I was able to create what we call massive and passive wealth. And we want to show you a little bit how using leverage in that way can create massive and passive wealth. What is massive wealth? Well, I look at massive wealth, and this might be a few new terms to you, or it could be terms that you're aware of, and you're like, I didn't know Strongbrook did this. This is what we're here to tell you about. They do now. You could create massive wealth using leverage by using short-term transactions. What I mean by that is you could do contract assignments. I've done that. Fix and flip. Go buy a house, fix it up, resell it. Not using your money or your credit. That's what I do. Short sales, that's what I used to do. I'll be doing some again. I haven't done it for a few years, but that was huge back when the market was crashing. And they're still huge right now. I'm actually working on one right now. Pre-foreclosures, foreclosures. These are short-term windows where you can make massive income. So it's like turning a house and flipping it in 3 months, making $30,000 by doing so. That's massive income. Well, let's look at passive income. Passive is more of a long-term play, yet it doesn't have to be a 30-year hold. It doesn't have to be a 20-year hold. It doesn't have to be a 10-year hold. I look at it as maybe it's a few years, but if we're looking at passive income, even if it's short-term passive income, you can buy and hold rentals, yes, for the long term. You can do lease options for the long term or a shorter term, 2 or 3 years. You can buy properties subject to. What I mean by passive income is you're creating not a massive check when you sell it. That's when the massive income comes when you sell. The passive income is the mailbox money, the checks that come in the mail every month for $200, $300 times 1, 2, 3 houses, 5 houses, 10 houses, or Chris Crohn's case, hundreds of houses, to create massive wealth through passive investing. So there's massive wealth, there's passive wealth, and you can do it with no money and no credit. This just happens to be a home that I did in April. You have to look real closely to see that, but it was April 20th of this year when I got this check for $31,000. Standing in the background behind me, sitting in the background behind me is the home that gave us this check. And this home we bought without our money and without our credit. We actually lived in this home for 2.5 years and never had a mortgage on it. Never had a bank tell me I couldn't buy it. I had 3 foreclosures on my name. I couldn't go get a loan because of my collapse in 2011. Yet this home I bought in a creative way, working with a seller, getting the home subject to its existing financing. That seller just happened to be needing to move from Orem, Utah to Portland, Oregon, and they were in a hurry, and it was a mess inside. It needed updating and upgrading, and I told them, look, I can probably solve your problem. We'll talk about that in a minute, solving problems to create wealth. And I gave them they had a problem. I gave them a solution. They liked it. We went together on this opportunity. We split our profits at the end after we lived in it 2.5 years. We got a check for $31,000. They got a check for $47,000. So I bought their home basically, and then 2.5 years later, they got paid for it. And I didn't use a bank to do it. So this is some of the stuff that we do. And how do I do it is a bigger question. And it's not just how do I do it, is how can you do it as well? And that is by creating win, win, win relationships. I made a little video about this that we sent out to you before our webinar. This is how do you create a win-win-win? So everyone can win in real estate, not just the investor, not just the homeowner, but what about the real estate agents that may or may not be involved? What about a title company that can get a real estate agent, title company? What about the community, the street, the neighbors when a home gets updated and upgraded and the problem moves out and a new home is there with a new family that moves in, and the whole neighborhood can win. And so what if an investor finds the deal but doesn't want it and passes it off to another investor? We'll talk about that in a minute. Yet they make a little money and this guy makes a lot of money. And there's ways to do it. It's called creative real estate investing. And this is what the Limitless real estate community is all about that we'll be sharing with you. And I don't want you to think, oh my gosh, this is going to be a fortune. I came on here to get value and they're selling me stuff. I don't want you to think like that. You came on here to get value. I want to give you some value. I want to open your mind to a possibility, and I just want you to sit and resonate on that and say, is this something worth pursuing, or do I want to stay where I am? And there's no right or there's no wrong answer. You're totally good where you are, or you totally want to get more involved, and I totally understand. There's no, I love you the same, either way, okay? And we do this creative real estate investing by using, it's kind of a funny term, I call it the KLT factor. Talked about this a little bit on a video I sent out as well. And what is the KLT factor? It really means people need to know you so that they might be able to come and like you, so that they might be able to trust you someday, so you might be able to do business with them. And so the KLT factor, you know, K is to get people to know you. L is to get people to like you. T is to get people to trust you. And if you can go out and creatively find problems in real estate, offer solutions that help all parties, you can be super successful and have deals come to you on a weekly basis, like I do right now, because I use my knowledge to give people information. They then like me because I'm not there selling them stuff, I'm not there pressuring them, and once they like me because I give them value with my knowledge, or once they get to know me, which is K, they get to know me because I give them things of value, then they like me, and then I build that trust with them, and building that trust is a very valuable thing. So I just want to take a couple minutes so you get some value from this webinar, and I want you to feel like this is a sales pitch. I really want you to think about this for a minute. If you're an investor or you want to go out and in your own area and look for opportunities, people always ask me, well, how do I know, Gary, if there's, how do I know a deal is a deal? I mean, I can go out there and look at for sale by owner, get on Craigslist, on the internet, on Zillow, in Utah, KSL.com. I can get on an MLS and start searching. How do I know when I can find a deal and know if there is a deal? Well, things to look for to determine if a home is worth pursuing from an investing standpoint is there needs to be some type of problem. Most of the time, not always, but the vast majority of the time. Some type of problem. Maybe they owe more than the home is worth. Maybe there's damage to the home. Maybe it was a fire, a flood, maybe just some foundational damage. Maybe it's just been abused and not updated and upgraded, and it's just kind of falling apart. Maybe there's a death in the family, a divorce. Maybe there's a job transfer. You know, maybe there's a family emergency, and they just need to get up and move, like the people that I met that needed to move to Oregon. They needed to move quick. I was able to help them. And, you know, it could be a crime scene, something like that, some type of a problem. And then what we want to do is bring the solution. But some other problems could be foreclosures, excuse me, short sales, finding vacant homes, abandoned homes. Maybe they're run down, maybe they're not even for sale, but they're abandoned, they're vacant. The yard's growing like crazy, or the grass is dead, or there's snow 3 feet high. You just know no one's living in there. Okay, I put a little thing in parentheses that says put a for sale by owner sign in the yard. I need to make a very good disclaimer. Sorry, I just feel like the presidential candidate, Marco Rubio, drinking water during a press conference. Maybe I went to a seminar once and someone said, hey, if you can't find an owner of a vacant home, put a for sale by owner sign in that yard, put your phone number on it, and watch how fast someone calls you that says, hey, how come you have a for sale by owner sign in my yard? And I say that a little bit tongue-in-cheek. I don't recommend you necessarily do that. I did do that once a few years ago, just to kind of up in my town, my hometown in Idaho Falls, and I knew this home was abandoned. It was on a busy street. It was on Ammon Road, right in the middle of in the town, and I did that. And within a day or two, I got a phone call from a guy in California that said, "Hey, you've got a for sale sign in my house. Trying to figure out what's going on." I'm like, "Oh, actually, I just was trying to track you down because I might be interested in buying your home, and I was kind of just being a little silly, but how did you find out about that?" And he told me who it was that told him. Just happened to be that I knew that guy. He's actually a good friend of mine. He owns the local convenience store right on the corner, about a quarter mile down the road. And so that guy that owns a convenience store ended up buying the house, actually, and they were good old friends, and they had just lost connection. And when he saw the sign up, he knew that wasn't his number, and he called him. Anyway, long story short, look for abandoned properties. Could be a way to find a property. Those are opportunities that could be just perfect for you as an investor. Homes that are for rent. You can really, and we did this the other day in one of our trainings at our one of our events. We actually get on the internet, go to forsalebywowner.com, go to Craigslist, drive a neighborhood that says for rent. For rent. Homes that are for rent. Call them and ask them, "Hey, are you interested in renting to own?" Obviously, they're interested in renting. They have a for rent sign in the yard or an ad. They're looking for a renter, but we don't know who they are or what their mindset is. It could be someone who couldn't get their home sold, and they're frustrated. They live in another state, and they need to sell it, but they couldn't, so they're now looking for a renter. I ask people, "Are you interested in renting a home?" It could be a disgruntled landlord that's just had the home for enough years. He's kind of tired of it. This is happening right now with a friend of ours in our community in Pocatello. I found out yesterday that his fiance knew someone who knew someone, and he has a house. He's thinking about selling it. He's been renting it for like 8 years, and he just is tired of it. That's all. Nothing wrong with it. So he asked, "Are you interested in maybe renting to own or carrying a contract instead of just selling it outright?" And the guy said, "Yeah, actually, I would entertain that." That's potentially an opportunity to where you can arrange a contract between you and that owner. He never sells the house to you right off the bat. He just puts it under a contract that lets you maybe rent it with an option to buy, which would allow you to go find someone else to move into the home, or he'll sell it to you on a contract, and then you don't live in the home. You find someone else who can live in it. You kind of wrap the deal. And we teach that kind of a stuff. So anyways, just food for thought to help you just open your mind to possibilities. Even though you have a MAP PSA, you may not have had formal training by Strongbrook on these creative ways. Well, it's all about to change. That's why we're here on the webinar. You might know this last thing, the last note that you see there is the median value homes and below. Strongbrook is very adamant on investing in homes that are in the median or just below. I got to get rolling. Do I need to be done by 7, or does webinar end immediately at 7? You know, Ken? Maybe you can send me a message, but I got to try to make sure I get over by 7. I've got 20 minutes, so all right, 22 minutes. Turning pain into profit, be a creative problem solver. It's one way to look at it. What I do as an investor, what I encourage you to do is you're not out there to score a deal. You're out there to help people solve their problems. And if you can learn to ask good questions, that's all I'm suggesting. And this is just a good slide. You may, if you're interested, you can take notes, take a picture of it or something. But try to build rapport with people. You ask questions and you listen so you can get information, so you can give information, so you can help persuade them or discover what their problem is to see if you can bring them a solution. And these are just some types of questions you can ask. Excuse me, open dialogue questions. Tell me about your situation. What can you tell me about the house? And a discovery question, which I love, is there anything else I should know? Is that everything? Is there anything else you'd like to tell me about the home or your situation? Because even though I may have asked it once, if I ask it again once they're done talking, often they start right up again and share more information with you. And as they share more information with you, that's when you find out there could be a possibility to help them and come to a solution. So little value for you. 2 types of questions you can ask: open the dialogue and discovery questions. Get them talking and then get into the details. And then be comfortable with silence. And I could talk about this for an hour, but well, maybe not an hour, but a good 15 minutes. You could use silence as a way to get more information, or really as a way to find out if they have no reservations. I like to ask people, so after talking with them and learning their story and presenting my solution, which could be the form of an offer to buy their home, I then say, you know, what do you think? Is this something we can, are you comfortable doing this? Do we have a deal here? I'm done. I don't say anything now. I'm silent. I let them speak, because in their mind they're thinking, do I have a deal here? I don't know. Either I do and they'll say yes, or if they don't, they're going to be maybe thinking, I do. Man, he's not asking me. He's not saying nothing. They might then, most likely, they come out and they share with you what might be holding them back, what might be keeping them from having the deal done, or they might just say yes. They might just say no. And then you're done. You're good. You got the answer you needed. Silence is a great way to move on and let them be basically let them come to you with whether you're done with the deal or not. Some people have a hard time with being silent. It makes them uncomfortable, even for 2 seconds. And so if you just really get that way, I give you a couple suggestions. If it's silence and you're just like really uncomfortable, just say something like, tell me a little more about that, or if it were me, what would you do? What would you suggest? And get them talking again. So anyway, a little bit of stuff for you. So I want to talk about the Limitless real estate community for a minute, and really the crux of why we are here. What is the Limitless real estate community? And it's a growing community of real estate investors. We help each other, we support each other, and we are a group of like-minded investors that are being trained, coached, and educated on creative real estate investing techniques and practices. And this is through the parent company, Strongbrook. It's called the Limitless Real Estate Community. It takes people just like you, a MAP PSA holder, who may have an interest in like doing real estate where you live, creatively learning how to do it without your money, without your credit, all the while knowing that at some point you're going to tap into Strongbrook's done-for-you real estate investing model. So who's the program for? Well, obviously it's for MAP PSA holders, but some people who are just beginning their investing journey, is for people who have had a financial reset and they're ready to get started on their path again. I went through my own financial reset, 2010 into 11. People with little money, little credit, people who are just curious, because the curious eventually become serious, and then they become players. It could be for people who just like continuous training, who like to stay up to speed on all the avenues and what's out there and what's available to them. And it's obviously a way to help create both massive and passive income. So the details. What do you get for this program? This is where we get to the good stuff, okay? The meat of the deal. I've got 17 minutes to get this meat to you. So we hold monthly community events. We train, we coach, we network, we do deals, we do field trips to actual deals in process. We do this monthly. We call it our monthly real estate investing breakthrough training. Now, this is done at the corporate office or somewhere in the Provo area, Orem area, but we live stream it. So we have people in our community in Idaho, in Texas, which is a long ways away. Idaho, a lot of them drive down here, but our friends that are in Texas, we have some in Colorado, so one in Arkansas, wherever you are, you can we live stream our event and we record it, so we have future, you can play back and watch the archive. But these are monthly events where we train, we coach, we network, we do field trips, etc. And it's all about creative real estate investing, how to get deals, how to do deals, how to put deals together, from A to Z, how to do the deal. And that's really what we do on a monthly basis. Also, weekly, we do a conference call every week. It's Tuesdays at noon Mountain Time. Every Tuesday at noon, we get on a call. These calls are to train, to coach, to discuss real estate deals. We take a piece of the call and we give content training. Take another piece of the call for announcements and business. But a big piece of it is for the people on the call to share their wants, their needs, their deals they're working on, and to ask questions. We always try to have an investor and one of the trainers that can be on the call to help field questions and to provide input, but we like to open up the calls where people can go back and forth and actually get deals done. We've had this happen more than once, And I'll share that in a minute too with one of these slides where people are doing deals during our call and making money. So we also have an exclusive, it's the third bullet point, an exclusive closed Facebook community. I should have made this first because it's the most important piece of this whole program. It's a closed Facebook community called the Limitless Real Estate Community where people they go to network, share ideas, share deals, their wants, their needs, and to get trained. All of our trainings are archived on here. The YouTube videos are loaded on this Facebook page. It's a really proactive, it's very engaging where people are on this page sharing back and forth and getting deals done. And then the fourth bullet point, you get access to accelerated real estate investor trainings live and in the Limitless Mentoring Network. And did I say, I left one out. It's kind of important. It's actually next week. We meet quarterly, every quarter for 3 full days, and we do in-depth training. Every one of you who's on this webinar, if you decide you want to come and play with us in the Limitless Real Estate Community, our training, our 3-day event is next week on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the 12th, 13th, and 14th. And all 3 days we'll be recording live stream, and we'll be archiving it afterwards, so you can watch it live, be here in person, or watch it afterwards, and we can give you full access to that if you're interested. And I'll tell you in a minute how you can get access to that. But we do that every quarter, and this is our very first one. It's our first quarterly event. Now, we have a bonus that goes with everyone, but for you MAP PSA holders, I call this the PSA holders dream free bonus. And I'm really excited to share this. This is probably the biggest, and I've been fighting, I'm not joking when I say this, Chris Crone, Steve Earle, the CEO, all the powers that be, I really went to bat for you to get this opportunity for you, and I just want to share some of these details. What is the free bonus? Oh, how's that for a cliffhanger? I have another slide first to share with you. A few of our results. Sorry, I'll get that free bonus in just 1 second. Mike Crouch and Houston Hope, they live in Texas. They found a fix and flip. They took it under contract. They used no money of their own, no credit of their own, and they're standing to make a $70,000 profit when they get this flip done. It's almost done. They found the money within the community. Other people in the community partnered with them. Amazing. Some from Idaho, some from Utah, and then the homeowner herself that lived 3 hours away in San Antonio, this house is in Houston, she gave them free access to the house and kept the mortgage in her name. They're not making any payments on it. She's making the payments while they fix her house because she partnered with them, and they're doing all the work, and she put up $25,000 of the rehab money on her own, and then they're sharing with her. They'll buy the house from her at her agreed to price, and when they sell it, she'll get the mortgage get paid off, and she'll get a little bit of her money, and then they split the profits, 20% of the owner and 80% to Mike in Houston. And after everyone's paid, that should be a $70,000 profit split between them and this homeowner. And that is an amazing opportunity where they did it with no money out of their pocket and no credit of their own. So Chevelle, this is a young lady in Orem. I think she's 23 years old, somewhere right in there. She has her own home. She decided to lease option it while she moved into another investment property without using her money or her credit. She went and bought another home under contract with a seller who carried the financing. Then she took her home she lives in that she has a mortgage on, and she said, I want to rent it to own, lease option it. And she had someone come in and give her $12,000 cash down upfront, non-refundable, for the right to live in her house and pay her rent, which cash flows her $300 a month. And so that was a huge win for Chevelle. James Bell, he's another great member of our community. He put a condo under contract. This is the one that did this on our weekly call on a Tuesday. He told, hey guys, I got a condo in Provo, Utah, found it on KSL.com. It said that the owner would be interested in seller financing, and the owner he only wanted $3,700 down. He would carry a contract on a $180,000 condo. It's like amazing. Well, James found the deal, got a contract, and said, I don't want to deal with the deal or the mess. I just want $3,000, and he can assign it off to another investor in our community that took the deal. And James walked away with $3,000 cash. He did that by joining our weekly call, and by the next week, on the next Tuesday, it was all under contract, and the story was it was all done up. It took about a month to finish tying it all up, but he made $3,000 off that cash. And then finally, Jolynn and Kirk Vance, these are great people. They live up in Idaho Falls. They bird dogged up an Idaho Falls flip that they found on Zillow, a free app, Zillow, free Zillow.com. In my wildest days, I never would have thought I would ever find a deal on Zillow that I would do. And this was the first deal they did, was on Zillow. And they were paid an $881 cash for bird dogging that deal up. And I was the one who bought that one. I bought that house. And the purchase price was $57,750. I didn't use my money at all. I used another person's money in our community. His name is Derek Lane. I used Derek's money. Derek and Stephanie put up the money with their retirement plan. They have money in a retirement plan, and they fronted the money. The $60,000 is what we borrowed. And so I got into this deal with nothing out of my pocket. We're rehabbing it right now to fix it up, to flip it, and then we'll share some revenue with the Lanes when we're done. So these are just a few of the results, some of the things that we're doing, just to give you some live examples. Okay, what am I time-wise? I am running low, 6:52. Okay, so the LREC, the Limitless Real Estate Community Free Bonus. This is what's going to excite you guys. You get a free unlimited PSA when you join this program. I'll say that again. You get a free unlimited PSA. Currently sells for $12,000. You're on this webinar. You have a right to buy that PSA for whatever it was selling for when you bought your map. Most of you, it was $12,000 or $16,000, and it still sells for that right now. This program, the Limitless Real Estate Community, has a free bonus. Everyone who joins this program, not just you map people, anyone who joins it gets a free unlimited PSA. Well, I thought that was a freaking raw deal for map people, and I've felt this way for 6 months, because I'm like, there's people that are on the map program, and you're waiting and you're waiting, you're waiting, you're doing things, you're getting ready so you can tap into that unlimited real estate PSA, but you don't have opportunity to creatively go out there, at least through our program, to learn these strategies, to go out there and get to there sooner so you can tap into the real estate done for you program that Strongbrook offers. So yes, everyone who joins the Limitless Real Estate Community gets unlimited access to Strongbrook's Done For You Fulfillment Program. You get access to the entire team of Strongbrook professionals. You get access to all the properties and all the hottest markets. This is what you guys have been waiting for, and this is why we need to give it to you. And when I say give it to you, I literally almost mean give it to you. So let's recap here. How much is the program? Okay, the Limitless Real Estate Community, the program sells for $25,000 right now. If you went to a Limitless event and then you learned about the Limitless Wealth Intensive, which is going on right now today, and you want to join the Limitless Real Estate Community, you pay $25,000. Now it's forever access, and with that $25,000 you get a free unlimited PSA that you guys are all working towards. You're either working towards a 4-home PSA or a unlimited PSA with your MAP program. These people are getting it for free. Well, what will your investment be as a MAP PSA holder? What will your investment be? It won't be $25,000, okay? You get a deal. You get a great deal. So how much is the program for you? Well, it's not $25,000. A MAP PSA holder will only pay $8,000 for this program. In other words, you can upgrade your MAP to the Limitless Real Estate Community for $8,000. Do you read that at the bottom? It says, but wait, there's more. How many are you on here? You know what? I haven't lost anyone yet. You're all here still. How do you mean, but wait, there's more? Remember, well, first of all, $8,000 is freaking awesome because they wanted to give it to you for $12,000 because that was like half price. And I was saying, no, that's, call my word, that's baloney. Why give it to them for $12,000? Because half the people on this webinar bought a map and you got a locked price. You might be able to buy an unlimited PSA for $12,000 anyway. And then some of you can get it for $16,000. The other half of you can get it for $16,000. So yeah, discounting it to $12,000 is awesome, but you need to make it 8. And they're like, no, they agreed to 10. As of yesterday, Steve Earle told me, I'm just not on board with the 8,000. It was not until yesterday, it was yesterday when Sasha, my daughter, and I were in his office, and finally he conceded to do this for $8,000. And I am not joking. Steve.earle@strongbrook.com. Email him, ask him, and hopefully he's not on this webinar because I thought that was ridiculous. I'm sorry, Steve. I don't know if he's on here. I'm not going to look and see either. But he'll see this, so it's not ridiculous. But my point is, I really wanted to help you guys get access to this, and it's not $8,000. Because remember, there's something that you guys do every month. MAP PSA holders have been accruing credits. You paid, yes, you pay $1,000 to get this $25,000 program, and the unlimited PSA comes with it. But we need to figure in your credits. Remember that when you purchased the MAP PSA, you paid $499, and you pay $99 a month. And those dollars can transfer to credits. And then those credits can be applied as a discount towards your PSA, whether you were going to pay 16 grand or 12 grand. You were getting these credits to accrue so you can get your PSA at a discount, your unlimited PSA. Well, these same credits we will let you apply towards the Limitless real estate community. That is awesome because, for example, if you paid $499 for your MAP, which you did, and then if you made 20 payments of $99 a month, so that's holding it for not quite 2 years, 20 months, you would then have a credit of $2,479 accrued. That's 20 months at $99 a month, plus your $499. You put it together, and it's a almost $2,500 discount that you have, and you can apply that to your $8,000 investment to join the Limitless real estate community. So what I mean by that, actually, with this example, your actual cost to upgrade would be $5,521. So you're probably thinking in your mind, well, how do I find out how many credits I have? Number one, probably asking yourself, how do I find out how many credits I have accrued? What if I didn't pay my $99 every month? Well, we have answers for you. Number one, you'll see at the bottom of the screen there, you can email my daughter, Sasha at strongbrook.com, and you can say, I'm very interested in joining this program, and we will let you know where your credits are. What if you didn't pay your $99 every month? Does that mean you get no credits? No. They'll look back into the system, and they'll find out what months you paid, and for months that you paid, you'll get that credited. So if you've had the MAP PSA for 2 years, and you've only made 18 payments of $99 because you opted out a few months, or maybe your card expired and you didn't think to renew it, or for whatever reason, you'll get every credit that you have earned to be able to apply to this. So when can I start attending the events? When can I start accessing the Facebook group, you might be asking? You can do that now. You can do that now. Even if, say once you have your $8,000 upgrade and you have $3,000 in credits, and that's $5,000, even if you haven't paid your $5,000 now, if you want to come to our quarterly event, which is next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, all you have to do is email Sasha at strongbrook.com and say, yes, I want to play with you guys. I need to talk to the strategist. We'll hook you up with James Schumann or one of our strategists who then can walk you through it. Sasha will just be the conduit. You need to email Sasha at strongbrook.com. Tell her you're interested. Sasha will forward it to Steve Earle, myself, and James Schumann, and then we'll be able to reach out to you and help answer your questions, help figure out a way to get your money together if you want to upgrade and enjoy this Limitless real estate community. And if you just have a plan in place, you can come. You just have to be committed, okay? You just have to be committed. And we'll get you in the Facebook group page. We'll get you invited to the events. We'll give you full access to everything. And if it takes you a month or so to get your funds together, fine. Just know that this is a limited offer for this upgrade, and it's through this month of September. It doesn't mean you have to fully pay for it. If it's $5,000, if it's $4,000, if it's a full 8, no one's going to pay a full 8 because you all have credits. So whatever your number is, you don't have to pay for it by the end of September. You just have to be committed. You have to let us know now so we can get working on it and help you find a path to fulfilling the payment. Does that make sense? So Yes, it's a limited time. And how do I join? And look at that. I think I'm running right on time. I got 3 minutes. This is perfect. Email Sasha@strongbrook.com and just say, I'm in, or I want to know more. I want someone to reach out to me. Make sure you include your phone number, your name. You don't need to give us your IBD number, just kind of your name, and make sure your phone number's on there so we might want to reach out and call you. Your email will be there, obviously, because you're sending an email. But email Sasha@strongbrook.com. Is the Limitless Real Estate community right for you? Of course, I say yes. I don't know what you say. And frankly, if it's not right for you, I'm totally cool with that. But if it is, and you want to find a faster path to tap into the Done For You program, and if you, a bird just flew into my window, and if you want to find a faster path to learn how to do real estate on your own creatively, join our community. Do it now, jump on board, and come play with us. I don't care where you live in the country, you will find benefit from this in a huge way, and the results are in our pudding already. With us just going a few weeks, we've gotten, I don't know exactly, but I swear there's at least 10 deals have gotten going with people in our community, and some of them are multiple people on the same deal. So we're talking a lot of people involved in this. And by the way, we need you. We want you to be in this community. We hope that this is something you look forward to doing with us, and I just encourage you, let's get you hooked up with your free strategy session. Email Sasha@strongbrook.com. I hope this has been beneficial for you. I hope you found some help, at least with some of the training and some of the creative ways we talked about to do real estate. It may have inspired you, even if you just go off and do whatever you're doing in your own market, and you never join this community, and you just stay with your map and tap into the Done For You program when you want. Well, I'm here to tell you, if you don't even want the Limitless Real Estate creative stuff, you need to join this so you can get that discount on your map upgrade. This could be your perfect time to upgrade your map, and this creative stuff, one way to look at it, it's your bonus. It's however you want to look at it. But in any way you look at it, we want you to play with us, and we really, really, really value you as an individual, and we know you can add so much to our community. So my offer is there to come and play with us. Appreciate it. I'm out of time. Hopefully we'll get this hooked up, and we can maybe do a replay or send it out to those of you again if you want to get more information or see it again. Let Sasha know too, but just email Sasha@strongbrook.com. This is Gary Norris. Thanks for being on the webinar, you guys. You're great, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye. In fact, I don't know if we can open up for Q&A. I guess Ken can let us know. I'm more than happy to stay here, but we might not have that ability.
Yeah, let me stop the recording.